Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
At this point, I'm convinced this free agency is being run by someone shaking a snow globe and laughing at us. Every time you think it's settled, boom, another report drops and suddenly nothing makes sense again. Welcome back to the Blue Jays Report, where logic has left the building and Kyle Tucker rumors are multiplying faster than unread notifications. Honestly, this situation has become completely ridiculous. Not only are we getting nonstop updates from insiders about the Blue Jays' pursuit of Kyle Tucker, but now we've got brand new reports contradicting each other in real time. One minute, Toronto is the favorite. The next minute, they're apparently not desperate enough. And then 5 minutes later, someone else says the deal is basically done. It's chaos, and somehow it's only getting louder. Let's start with the most encouraging part, because if we don't, my blood pressure might spike. Jared Carrabis came out and said he genuinely feels the market belongs to the Blue Jays and that he's basically waiting for the announcement of a massive 9-year deal bringing Kyle Tucker to Toronto. Now, to be clear, he wasn't reporting anything official, but the confidence matters. When people around the league start framing it like this, it tells you Toronto's offer is very real and very competitive. That confidence didn't come from just one voice either. Mets insiders have also admitted that, on paper, the Blue Jays make the most sense for Tucker, especially if he's prioritizing long-term security. At the same time, though, there's that lingering concern about his recent injury history, which opens the door for a short-term, high-value deal somewhere else. And that's where everything starts to feel unhinged. Because on the flip side, you've got reports suggesting the Mets are pushing hard, the Dodgers are lurking quietly, and suddenly even respected reporters are contradicting themselves. Ken Rosenthal, for example, recently suggested Toronto might not be as needy as other teams after their recent additions. Fans lost it, and understandably so, because just days earlier he had the Jays positioned as favorites. That whiplash is exactly why this whole process feels out of control. All signs point to one simple truth, though. If Kyle Tucker wants a long-term deal, Toronto is his best option. That seems to be the one consistent thread through all the noise. If he wants a shorter deal with flexibility and a massive annual salary, then the Mets or Dodgers suddenly make more sense. The next few days are going to be brutal, dramatic, and probably filled with even more leaks. Now, as if that wasn't enough stress, let's talk about the scarier side of today's news, Bo Bichette. Reports have confirmed that he recently met with the Philadelphia Phillies, and momentum is building fast. Multiple insiders are now calling Philly the favorite, and that's not coming from random accounts. That's coming from people who are usually very careful with their words. What makes this more believable is the timing. Once Toronto locked in other major pieces, it started to feel like Bo's camp and the Jays may have quietly accepted that a reunion wasn't likely at his price point. Add in another respected voice saying the Phillies are leading the race, and suddenly it feels less like speculation and more like preparation. Here's where the scenarios really matter. The nightmare outcome is losing Kyle Tucker and watching Bo Bichette land in the AL East. Nobody wants that. A much better outcome is landing Tucker while Bo heads to the National League. Even an okay scenario is missing out on Tucker, but seeing Bo leave the division entirely. Context matters, and at least some of these paths hurt less than others. And honestly, it's worth zooming out for a second. The fact that we're even debating whether the Blue Jays will sign the #1 free agent on the market says everything about how far this organization has come. They're already pushing the luxury tax threshold. They're willing to spend. They're acting like a serious contender, not a passive observer. If Tucker joins this lineup, it's frightening. One of the deepest, most dangerous lineups in baseball, possibly rivaled only by the Dodgers. And even if he doesn't, this roster is still strong, balanced, and absolutely capable of competing for the division. There are areas to improve, sure, but this offseason has already been a success by most standards. So yeah, things are messy. Reports are flying everywhere, emotions are high. But one thing is clear, a decision is coming, and it's coming soon. Until then, buckle up, keep refreshing, and stick with the Blue Jays Report, because this roller coaster isn't done yet.